Welcome to more Greatest Attorney Adventures. I just came back from a bridal brunch of sorts for my cousin who is going to get married sometime next year. Depending on when you're watching this, it's probably not next year, I don't know, but also, like, whatever. You know that this should be dated. And it was kind of exhausting because I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to socialize, especially with people I don't know. It was whatever. Anyway, I have two plants. You can't see them now. They're over there. They're probably gonna die within like a month because I don't know how to take care of them, but they were given as a gift to all the bridesmaids. And my cousin did not give us instructions on how to take care of them, so hopefully they'll be there. You can't see them right now. They're over there, I promise you. They're there. And yeah. Anyway, so we last left off. Where did we last leave off? Trial part 2. What trial are we in? Hold up. I was thinking about the last trial. What's this trial? Gina? Oh shit! Hold up. It's been like a week since I played this, I think. What's the day? It's been almost a week. So that tells you what day it is that I'm recording this. If you can look at if you care to look at it. Besides the point. It's been a week and I haven't really thought about this. The last time I was thinking about Ace Attorney was what I was last editing, which was we were still in the last case. Let me try to recap it for myself. I don't remember shit. Gina is accused of murdering the pawnbroker. Right, Windebanks. Where did the trial leave off at? We found out McGilded was a bitch. Sholmes got shot. Susato's not with us. Oh my god, so much happened. Wait a minute. I remember shit. Oh fuck. Holy shit. That was a lot that I just had to recollect just now. Alright. We're just gonna get into it. I'm sure I'll remember as we go, but I guess we took a break or something? What happened? This is the first time with Ace Attorney that I've like come into the right, the jurors. It's McGarradeb and the Revolutionary Man. Oh my god, voicing? Hold up. Give me a second. I only just finished potting those plants and I'm coming here recording because I really wanted to play. Give me a second. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Also, you might hear rain outside. It's, we're having a tropical storm today. So if it starts getting raining even louder, you're probably gonna hear it. Just consider it ambience, eh? Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. What witnesses? The fucking thieves. Waluigi and Wario. Why? Why are they back here? I forget. I presume you heard the defense counsel's summation examination. What did we last do? Why don't I remember anything? Why did all this just slipped out of my head? Oh my god, what was your voices? Shit. Waluigi and Wario, huh? Wow, I don't. Oh, yeah, Gupta. You can also hear my brother because he is home. Don't worry about it. Wait, Wario. I did, Golf, I did. Ryunosuke. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Cool, blind me. Whatever. This is gonna be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windebanks. That they didn't do shit, right, or something? Oh, okay, so was the summation examination the part where they, Oh, the fucking stereoscope thing? The image, the movie thing. We saw that something got shifted on the table, on the counter. Okay. I kinda remember. Well, Waluigi. Well, it was Bedlam soon as, wasn't it? I don't remember. I don't care. Wario. It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to prune me dukes out me Lucy paw lockets. Right. Yes, he said that thing. However, that was a lie. You brothers. Oh, blimey. On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never done none of the sort. Oh, how'd you figure that out? Oh, they have the same voice, whatever. You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question. And this time, you will tell the truth. Igiari. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, God, we hear ya. We're Blab, we're Squeak, we're Peach. Peach. Yo, Peach. I'm allergic to peaches. You can't peach while I'm here. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshots, see? It made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Love me, it didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking that you'd come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered. Straight into him in the black. What? Straight into him in the black, whatever. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? I don't like their fucking the shadow under their eyes. So you admit to the defense's accusations? You did indeed ransack Mr. Winneback's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, governor, no. That's right, Nash. That's right. It's more like we tidied up, yeah. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good of their mess. Or whatever. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. Wario, we don't, Nash, we don't. Can't make them sound a bit more cutthroat. It can't just be a coincidence that these men showed up at Winneback's that night. There's more to their testimony that meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Looks like his eyes are meeting those fish and chips. Can't have it. Okay, so like, I don't even fucking remember anything. We did knock a few things over. We were okay. If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nosh, we ain't. If we admit to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. Well said, Ringo, me old China. What? China? We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourself in even more trouble. That's rotten luck, says the Royal Apple Eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up. What? Yeah, sorry. Wait, which one's Ringo? Nash. Oh, Ringo's the short one, okay. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff on the line. So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshots shocked you so much, you knocked all the things off the counter? Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves need to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, right? Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up to that bang. Big brother screamed like a bloomin' baby, fell over on the counter. He fell over on the counter? So he was on the counter then, he must have been. How else would he have gotten that high? He knocked over a load of books, candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked them scales on the floor? You really mastered working quietly then. What a racket! Me granny would have been scared back into a grave at a clatter like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it was white as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, BAM! What's up, buddy? How do you do this? Hey. Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Mario, like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add to their testimony. You seem to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. It's always something. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. And the statement they gave them told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Did you claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot? You might have, God, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Mario, granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling that perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy! We'll get it right this time. That's it, yep, it's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs. Right you up, Guff. God, you two are annoying. Just before gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!" So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. We did, Guff, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yelling all. If you don't want to get shot. Give me that gun! Bam! Kind of thing. A career in acting tragically missed. I want to get a pin. I want to get like a clothing pin for his armband. Who does that? I think it was Haruhi Suzumiya who did that with the pin, with the thing. Whatever, doesn't matter. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. Ask if the voice was a girl's voice or a man's voice. I don't know what that would tell you, but... And the voice you heard. Oh, it was that of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. On my granny's life, of course it was. On his granny life, of course it was. Don't you guys have the same grandmothers? So, that would mean that you both knew Mr. Winterbank and the sound of his voice? Hey, so that would mean what? What dash what? Any ideas? Yes, Counsel. Indeed it would. Nah. We didn't know the geezer. Almost wasn't the lie when that bloke is in the old fancy club giving us the evil eye. He's not even looking at you. Oh, there he is. Yeah, if you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is as accurate and true. Why is it so hard to get through their heads? On me granny's life it is. On his granny's life it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. To summarize it, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then heard the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. You make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget, we tied it up after good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, the bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at that girl. The bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so he was holding the gun. You're saying that he's holding... You're saying that Mr. Winterbank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah! Bet that was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other. Must have got pretty heated. They both were holding guns? What? I mean, just before he shouted up, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot. Didn't really sound like he meant it, Mark. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Winterback was known to keep a revolver on the shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course. Lord grief! Extraordinary devotion, indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only, the person he was going to shoot and beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet he wished he squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun!" They both had guns? And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Golf. Give me that gun! Bah! Kind of thing. Yes, a career in acting, very tragically missed. Got it? But the door is closed, right? So put off that the entire time they miss. They don't hit each other at all, except at the end. I don't like that. Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdash job tying the place up. Lummy didn't give half a fright. We was thinking the shooter came out the door and get us next. Oh, there's no questions about the fact that they both had guns? Because I thought the whole idea was that the gun that Gina was holding in her hand was Winterbank's. Oh, why am I here? Sorry, I meant to go. Whoops, I meant to go. Is there a gun in our? Oh, there's two guns. Oh, this is the brother's gun. Gun belongs to the victim. Gina was holding it. Signs of a single discharge. Yeah, so it was shot once, but they're saying that they were both holding guns, or maybe they're. I don't know. So you didn't try to open the store door. What? So you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not on your life. It went deathly quiet after that it did. Put the wind right out in me. What? But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? No way that was open. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the store. Like, through the keyhole, or a spy hole, perhaps. No ring, no bell, don't light, no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. Oh, whatever. We still cutting our teeth in this game, see? For one day. We really cut the mustard. What? What did that mean? Please, cut it out. What did that even mean? But as we know, behind the door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there, unconscious, with the gun in her hand. So what must have happened was Gina was probably threatening to shoot him to get the box open, and then Winterbanks was like, "Yo, don't do it, ho." And then someone opened a little window, shot him, and then bolted. I guess the door was locked because Gina locked it to try to keep him inside. I don't fucking know. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gov, that's right. Couldn't have Couldn't have even if we wanted to. We stuck everything back where we found it and scalped it. Straight into him in the block. Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, yeah, he was a bit nasty there. We was nasty, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. Oh my god, what was your... If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Something like that, whatever. I forgot she was here. Good advice, miss, good advice. Fuck. truth be told, my mind went totally blank.
Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand.
What? That wasn't her voice, I think. What was her voice? Shit. Mental note main, miss. Whatever, fuck. After that, we legged it down the street. What? Apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or something, so they clapped the derbies on us like winking. Those are just all words, I don't... And after you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah.
But listen, that proves it, done it, eh? We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we?
And why should we believe that?
What? Well, cause it's true, ain't it?
That place was oriented when we read it. At the time, the victim was already in the store, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, those two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windibank. Correct?
You got it, mister. Or you got it, mister. Down to a T.
Whatever. So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windibank? Is that really true, I wonder? That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony. What was your voice, Iris?
What is it, Runo? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired.
Aw, I would like some tea. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it.
Well, feelings can be very logical at times.
Sorry?
People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in your brain will quietly...
What?
You can take all that in and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why. That's all.
Okay, I still don't think I'm doing my voice right.
I think you should try to trust your instincts.
Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. No, she's just a bit too adult for a 10-year-old. Something about... So, alright, we knocked a few things over. We weren't rifling for nothing. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun." The bloke who owns the place was holding a gun, so he should have fired just instead of yelling at the girl. He was holding a gun? Why is this like... I don't actually know. Let me see. I'm skipping things. If you don't want to get shot, didn't sound like he meant it, mind you, blah blah blah. Protect that someone being himself, good grief, la la la. Person gonna shoot, cook, goose, popper, whatever. Bet he wished he squeezed the trigger, and it was directly after those words. It was more or less the same time. Bang! Kind of thing. Okay, career in acting, tragically missed. Then we heard there's someone hit in the dead before everything went dead quiet, and after that we done slapped the place tight, whatever. Didn't have give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter would come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered straight into him in the black. I could have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never had the chance, did we? I don't like his face here, but I don't know. Oh shit, I don't fucking know. Let me go over what we have. A redemption ticket issue, the pawnbrokery owned by the victim. Mr. Windibank in the form of some handwritten notes in the back of the photograph. What is this? Right, the cat. And then this is McGilded's thing? We have the representation papers, the blood sample portfolio, which has Sholmes' blood, presumably, and then Mason's blood, and then Windibank's blood. Okay. And then this is for the coat. This says Mason's blood on it because Gilded had his blood on his gloves and he was holding this, okay. Iris' story manuscript, which I don't know why we have this. I mean, it probably has to be presented at some point. This is McGilded's case notes from Susato. Morning paper which contains an article about government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. Winterback's on here. Okay. And his autopsy report. Firm single bullet to the back. 1 to 130. Wait. Bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising trajectory. Oh. I don't know how tall he is, but if it's rising, that means it's going like diagonally up that way, right? So it would have to be someone from the floor? Or lower than him? Was he standing on something? Because if that's the case, then it wouldn't be from someone from the window, right? I guess. Crime scene photograph shows a single bullet wound. Right. Okay. Crime scene floor plan, the guns, the Gina photo. Whoops. And then the post-shooting. Right. The marionette, the scales, the skull, the candles, I think they said. Stereoscope. I don't know why we have this. I don't think we've examined this. I don't know, I don't think it matters, but we'll look at it. Nope.
You have to pop your 2 prints in here to start with, you see?
And then, when you look through the pieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions.
The important thing to get right is the position of the 2 prints.
I don't know who came up with the idea of a stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. Okay. And that's it. So, looking through all that didn't help me with shit. Do I have to press everything again? See if we get a reaction out of them? I guess I will. Let me just press everything again and see. Because I don't know what the answer is here. Skip, 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 skip. Skip, 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 skip. That's exactly what you've done. Rotten lock, rotten apple eater. Witnesses. Explain your actions. Why did you ransack? We never ransacked shit. Right, Nash, right. More like we cleaned the place up. Stare. Sorry. Nope. Just before the gunshot, I heard a voice of now give me that gun. Oh wait, did I say I pressed this already, I think. Simultaneously we did, Gov, we did. Although I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and oil. If you don't want to get shot. Give me that gun. Kind of thing. Career in acting tragically missed. Right. Okay. And where the voice coming from? Could you tell? This behind the counter. From the storeroom, blah blah blah. The voice you heard, was that of the victim? On me granny's life, of course it was. On his granny's life, of course it was. So that would mean that you both knew Winterbank and the sound of the voice. 8, that would mean what? What, Nash, what? Any ideas? Yes, counsel, a needed word. Well, nah. We didn't know the geezer. Well, I'm supposed to deny when the blah 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 blah. If you value your lives, something. On my granny's life. On his granny's life. Okay. Summarize immediately after the voice you heard the gunshot. Causing you to stumble and upset the items scattering on the item, blah blah. You make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tied it up like good little boys. Okay. Didn't really sound like he meant it though. More of an empty threat. Okay, so hold up. Is this the contradiction? Because they're saying that. Shut up. Like that. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Okay. Shut up. So, is it? How do I present? If I present the gun. Nope, that's not it. I don't know what the answer is. Because I'm trying to figure out. So they're saying that they went in and then they heard the shout. Oops. They heard Winterbank saying in a wavering voice, if you don't fuck off or whatever it is, then you're gonna get shot. Or give me the gun. If you don't get hurt, give me the gun or something. I don't get Like, it doesn't make any sense because the gun is technically... The gun was in her hand, so I don't understand... Am I gonna cheat? I might have to cheat. I think I'm gonna cheat. Hang on. I don't know if I'm reading this part of the fact correctly, because I'm looking at a spoiler-free walkthrough, so it doesn't give details about the things that I have to do. I think it's saying to present on statement 3 the picture of the crime scene. The bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Oh, is it the contradiction that the picture shows that she's holding the gun? No, picture of the crime scene. Is the contradiction saying that he was the one who shot? Like, I don't get... So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? Oh. Is the contradiction the fact that they were saying he was holding a gun, the thing that I kept saying like 1,000 times? I thought that was just like... I thought that was them saying that he was holding the gun and not her, or like there was 2 guns or something. Okay. My fault, I guess. That's right, Goff. You've got the picture. Hey, yes, Nash, yes, no question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not holding a firearm at any description. Oh, the fact that he didn't have a gun in his hand at all? Okay. What? Gordon Bennett! That's right! That ain't right! Who's Gordon Bennett? There could be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I will remind the court that Mr. Windibank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Have we ever seen his face close up like that? We must have. Yeah, that mortal jeweler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun, blah. Kind of thing. Stay exactly where you are, right there. If the crime had taken place as you've so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Wonders, are you sure, counsel? What? You intrigue me, my learned friend. Well, let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? Oh, that he was shot in the back. Yeah? He was shot in the back. Autopsy is Doko. Autopsy. There. According to their testimony, the witness claims to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the 2 events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. Skulkin. Yaga! Okay. You know, it's been a while. I'm just trying to get into the swing of things, you know? It's been a hot second. I'm just like... Okay. But it's the God's honest truth. It is, Dash, it is. When he was shot that night. The shopkeepers had a gun in his hand, and we saw it with our bleeding eyes. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windibank holding a gun. Something like that might have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these 2 witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash. What What are? Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, it weren't supposed to, Did we ever see him move to the table like that? Like, actually, like, put his hands down? I thought we always saw him, like, already in this position. You know what? It's all good. It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Oh, time to die. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies? I'm so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, Cut it out, Nash, cut it out! If you blab now, you know he'll do to us. He who? He? Who are they talking about? Well, you can't just say that and just expect us to let it go. Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Bro, come on, the game's up. But you haven't got very goddess. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. So God help me, I will stab you in the gut for it. On the dying question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand you to testify again, to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, actually wait, sorry, give me 1 second. Oh wait, here it is. Never mind. I thought it was gonna have information about, I was wondering to see if the bullet that shot him actually pierced through him or if it was still lodged in him. Also, who the fuck is this? Oh, this is the dancing guy, right? I'm surprised they showed him without his hat. But like, whatever. Well, do we have to? Yeah, so he said like 5 times to fucking say it. On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it. He said, give me that gun to you guys? Boy, no geezer, that bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over on the counter. I pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. We never had that dude for killing him. That's all that happened, we swear. Why did you have to hide that? So you're now telling us that the moment before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Well, yeah, sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Guff, this time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide. Very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Meanwhile, Gregson is still just there. Oh, so we've just gone inside the gaff and leave the sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and the proprietor of the shop, Mr. Winterbank? Well, so, I mean, not right. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out of that back room like that. Back room being the pawnbroker's store. Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place he could have been. So it would seem that the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises.
Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well.
But that doesn't make any sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Winterbank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you see the accused at the time? What? That mall tour? Couldn't tell you. Audio, couldn't tell you. Fucked up. No way, Koba. We ain't had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it. Jumped at you guys? You mentioned that Mr. Winterbeck shouted these words in your previous testimony, too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. Did we? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Well, yeah. Was the victim, Mr. Winterbeck, wielding a gun at the time? But what? Was he ever? Blimey lummy, great ugly barrel he had, pointed straight at me for front piece, whatever, what? So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterbeck with the gun at the time, is that correct? It is, Goff, it is. Spot on. Then all of a sudden, he came at us, he did. It was bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who. You were all clearly going for each other. Like not shut. We thought we had it. I mean... Audio. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over at the counter. Yes, I noted that you mentioned in the counter in your previous testimony, too. Well, yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books, candlestick, and some war skull whatnot. Audio, that got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked them scales on the floor? So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things over on the counter. Well, big bro here went flying over the counter like a gunshot, I tell you. I can tell you. Then the old geezer pinned him. He did, nah, she did. If you hadn't been there, that bloke would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds. Again, at the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There was a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and back onto the streets, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they?
Poor Mr. Winterbeck. He did everything he could to protect his shop. I pulled my gun on him and then he let it do that on your back door.
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Winterbeck? No, never. I was just, you know... looking out for me bro, weren't I? He was being flattened, don't forget. By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom where you pointed your gun at him. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off through that door and shut himself in. There's something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true.
I wonder why Mr. Winterbeck ran away into the storeroom.
What?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for him, with the gun.
Yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Winterbeck's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Winterbeck's hand again?
I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it?
This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it. Look, the point is, me and my bro here. Audio, that's right, Nosh, that's right. Me and me bro here. We never have nothing to do with him killing him. That's all what happened, I swear. You say you had nothing to do with it? Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shot himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was, from the inside. We knew it cause we tried to open it. But it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong. Wouldn't budge an inch. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could have possibly shot the victim, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade. It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, Counsel? I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Winnebeck? Himself? Shot himself in the back. He just went, shoot! I don't know. He probably doesn't have, I don't imagine he would have the flexibility to reach over that far anyway. Mr. Skulkin! Hey, what? What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victims face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. It did? Oh, it did? Whatever. Fuck. What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Winnebeck? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. Ilya, you have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premise. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect of two conundrums. Two, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord.
Are you alright, Uno?
I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I could prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answer to the questions posed by his lordship. What was the question? If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun. Am I thinking that it has to do with that little door? I hope that's what I'm thinking. I don't know what else could be otherwise. Oh my god, there's a man there! Is this right? The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. I don't think that was right. And in answer to the second question. Yeah, I bet. Assuming that the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time? Okay, I think that's right then. Okay. It was such a long, quiet pause. It fucking scared me. That the culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Winnebeck died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? Actually, you can see the burn marks on the bullet on his back, so that means he was really close. He might have been up against the door, maybe? Up against the door, opened the little window, and then pew, maybe? Maybe. So we are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom. Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony, I pointed my gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. But that doesn't. What about the issue of the gun being only fired once, though, Ryunosuke? How are you gonna fucking figure that out? There are signs that a single round was fired. Hello? How are we gonna fucking figure this shit out? I don't know. If Mr. Winnebeck ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. No. I was about to say, what if the gun was left on the counter? But that can't be right. Oh, they just said that we have to assume the door was open at the time? I wasn't even listening to what he was saying. What did it say? If Mr. Banks ran away through the door, we have to assume the door was open at the time. Okay, so the door was open and it shot him before the door closed. And then they set up the scene, put the gun in, Gina's hand. I was like, what the fuck is her name? And then locked the door from the inside, like, reached in through the window and then maybe? I don't fucking know. It was at precisely that moment, when the victim was fleeing for his life, that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom.
Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial?
No. God, that was so long ago. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself.
Oh man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety.
Of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would have still have entered the body in an upward trajectory. Oh, I see.
So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Windibank.
He got it. I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim that the victim was shot as he fled into the room. You also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the keys in the lock. But, what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Gina? Is that so? Maybe Gina? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside? Gina? She was the only one inside, right? Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. I'm not sure I understand why they don't bring up the fact that the window is like, even if the window is like higher up, you could still technically reach in to probably reach the doorknob in some fashion, right? Whether it's like with a cane or a pole or something, like there's gotta be whatever. How tall can a door be? Did I read this? The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered a sealed room. For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel? To protect herself? Yes, that's a tricky one, that... isn't it? To protect herself? And to protect the Windibank from getting shot, potentially shot again? Or getting anything stolen? Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it?
It does?
Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they?
Oh yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windibank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Windibank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Audio. Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv. If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. And then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibank fell to the floor where he was just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done at that moment? see where you're going with this. God, I don't remember his voice anymore. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winnebeck. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it in order to save her own life. But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't you gotta believe us. I mean, come on, we'd never shoot no one. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin, your brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Winneback's murder.